Professor promised her full marks for making him happy. She exposed him and changed everything. A young black girl sat in her professor's office. He smiled and said, "Make me happy, and you'll pass." She smiled back, then pressed record. What happened next? The entire campus watched him get arrested. Like and subscribe if you believe in standing up for what's right. Naya was a bright 20-year-old black girl majoring in literature at a well-known university. She was quiet, always on time, and loved writing poetry. Her dream was to become a published author, but one class was giving her trouble. Advanced literary theory, taught by Professor Richard Gray. He was known for being strict and for favoring certain students, mostly female students, pretty ones. Naya had studied hard, but her grades weren't improving. One day, Professor Gray sent her an email asking her to visit his office. Naya was nervous but hopeful. Maybe he would offer some guidance. She walked in, wearing jeans and a hoodie, clutching her notebook. Professor Gray sat back in his chair, smiling in a way that made her uncomfortable. He said, "Nia, you're a smart girl, but sometimes smart isn't enough. You want to pass this class?" She nodded. He leaned in closer and said, "Make me happy, and I'll make sure you pass with flying colors." Nia froze. Did she hear that right? He smiled wider. "You know what I mean." She left his office quietly, heart pounding. Outside, she sat on a bench, holding back tears. This wasn't just about her grade anymore. This was wrong. But what could she do? She pulled out her phone and started recording. That night, Naya couldn't sleep. Her mind kept replaying the moment, the words, that slimy smile. She wanted to scream. She wanted to quit school. But most of all, she wanted to protect other girls. She spoke with her roommate, Tasha, a bold and outspoken law student. Tasha was furious. "He's been doing this for years," she said. "Everyone whispers about it, but no one ever proves it." Nia looked down at her phone. "What if I go back and get it all on video?" Tasha hesitated. "Are you sure? That's risky. I'd rather take a risk than stay silent." The next day, Nia walked back into Professor Gray's office. She had a hidden camera app running on her phone, placed in her open bag. This time, she played along. He said, "So, are you ready to make me happy?" She responded, "What do you want me to do exactly?" That's when he said it. All of it, in full detail. It was disgusting, but it was all on camera now. She walked out smiling, not because she was happy, but because she had proof. That night, she and Tasha edited the video, clearly showing his face and voice. Then they made copies, on a flash drive, in the cloud, and even printed a transcript. It was time to bring him down. The next morning, Nia requested an emergency meeting with the university board. The room was filled with serious faces, professors, legal staff, and the dean. Nia stood alone in the center. She took a deep breath. "I'm here today because I was harassed by one of your professors." Gasps. "His name is Professor Richard Gray. He promised me top grades if I did sexual favors." Some of the board members looked shocked. Others are skeptical. Then she pulled out her phone and played the video. The room went silent. The dean's eyes narrowed. "Is that his voice?" "Yes," she said. "And I have more copies, if needed." Within minutes, security was called. Professor Gray was brought into the boardroom. He looked confused until he saw the video on the screen. His face turned white. "This is out of context," he shouted. "No, Richard," said the dean coldly. "It's over." Police were called. Nia stood silently as the officer placed handcuffs on Professor Gray in front of the university board. A professor, a predator. Now just another man being taken away for abusing power. News of the arrest spread across campus like wildfire. Students whispered in hallways. Professors looked over their shoulders. Some didn't believe it until the video was shared in the day student group chat. The truth was out. And then, the floodgates opened. One by one, other girls came forward. Some from years ago, others still in his class. Each with similar stories, each with pain they had buried. Naya's courage gave them strength. The university launched a full investigation, and more staff were questioned. Rules were changed. A new student hotline was created for harassment claims. Naya was offered support, therapy, and a public apology. But she refused any special treatment. "All I want," she said at a student assembly, "is for no girl to ever feel like I did in that office, hearing those words." The crowd stood and applauded her. Tasha hugged her tight. "You didn't just save yourself, you saved all of us." Nia's grades were reviewed and adjusted fairly by a different professor. She passed, with her dignity intact. A few weeks later, Nia sat in the same bench outside the literature hall. This time she wasn't crying, she was smiling. Students walked past her and gave her small nods, thumbs up, even hugs. She had become a quiet hero on campus. Her story was featured on student news, then local news, then national TV. She didn't want fame, she just wanted justice. A letter arrived one day. It was from a girl at another university who had seen her story online. The letter said, "Because of you, I finally spoke up. I'm not scared anymore." Nia held that letter close. She knew her life would never be the same, but she was okay with that, because she had made a difference. Before graduation, she gave a short speech at the university's safety seminar. "I wasn't brave at first. I was scared. But I did what I had to do, not just for me, but for everyone who couldn't." She ended with one powerful line: "Always speak up about what's wrong. You never know who you're saving." The crowd stood and clapped, some with tears, some with hope, and all with respect. If this story moved you, please like, share, and subscribe. Let's raise our voices together, because silence only protects the wrong people.